Hello, it's the Archer Everything, back with another video, and today I'm actually suggesting a buff for every single Marvel Rivals character. Now this is before Black Cat comes out, but this video might come out after she comes out. But usually with new characters, they don't really need buffs anyways. And yeah, so let's get to it. I wrote these down on my phone so I wouldn't get super lost or anything like that. But start off, Adam Warlock. I think that he should get a healing boost to his E. Now, I know there might be some sort of mechanic that gives him more healing when there's like more allies around, but I'm just talking about one single ally. If there isn't that, then dismiss what I just said. But just one single ally, that E should give a little bit more healing, in my opinion. When I'm on Adam and I'm healing a tank, it feels like I'm doing nothing. Angela. I want her to have more damage on Assassin's Charge. I'm not talking about, making it longer or nothing. I'm just saying, like, when she initially, grabs him with the hook, maybe like 10% more damage. Something like that. Black Panther, I want him to have more movement speed. I just got to Lord Black Panther not too long ago, though. It might not seem that way. For when this video comes out, if I do post a montage and I have Lord on him. But yeah, I need him to have more movement speed. I know he's already the fastest character when you're talking about movement speed, but it's just not enough. I believe that when he's slowed, he should have Spider-Man's walk speed as his slowed speed. And I believe that his movement speed should be like 20% faster, 30% faster. I mean, you get frozen as BP or you miss a dash, you're dead. That get out of jail free card just isn't there. But if he had more movement speed, then he could do a little bit more. He's D tier right now. Yeah. Black Widow is actually an interesting case. I know a lot of people want her to have a one-shot headshot, and a lot of people don't. In my opinion, I want a different buff. I want her to she does this dash or the running. I'm fine with the jump having a cooldown, but the running should not have a cooldown. She should be like Cap, to where she can just run. I understand the jump, but no running cooldown. That's my suggestion buff. And for Blade, this character who was fumbled, I guess. I think his Daywalker dash should have a damage buff. Not by much, maybe 10%, maybe 5%, maybe 15%. But I'm gonna be honest, this guy is not that good. Blade is really not that good. He might be good in higher ranks, like super high ranks, but I just don't see him, and he should be played like a samurai in my opinion. He has none of that. I feel like his dash should, or just give him another dash or something. But I'd be fine with a dash, higher damage. I mean, let's be honest. And then Hulk. No skin having Hulk. I believe that his buff should be a higher base melee damage. This guy, these heavy blows, they're just blows. Look at this damage. That's nothing. That's a Punisher. That's nothing. Maybe like 10% more. All I'm saying. Captain America. Actually, this is a weird buff that I'd want to give him if I was the devs. This living legend, whatever shield thing, you'll see that as he's shooting, that these projectiles get bounced, and sometimes they hit the target. I want this to be buffed. I want the projectiles to be more likely to hit the person. Not super likely, but just a little bit more likely. Maybe like 20% more likely. I don't know how that works, but yeah. So next row, I guess, or not yet. Next row. Cloak and Dagger, I want to just buff Dagger by giving her Light Explosion. This right here. I want this to do a little bit more healing. Just like 10%. Not much. I know a lot of people use Cloak's thing, and I get that. But her Dagger's healing's good, but if she had the Light Explosion to have more healing, that'd be good. Next, buff Daredevil like he needs one. His wall run speed increased, just a little bit more of a threat. That'd be cool. Deadpool, I want his revolver to have more headshot damage. which you'll see in a sec. It actually is not too bad, but you know, it's a revolver. I think the headshot should be a little bit more. Next one is Doctor Strange. I know he's pretty good right now, but you know, ever since he did have some nerfs, but Doctor Strange, I want his, and this is kind of weird. Whenever you're using his E, if it's at, you want it to get to 100, right? But here's the issue: when you get it to 100 and you don't use it, it goes down kind of fast. Like, and then if you hit someone, it slows it down, but doesn't bring it back up until it's back at 0. I believe that this process of it going down should just be lessened. Give him that type of buff to where if it gets maxed, I'm not saying that it shouldn't go down, but like go down a little slower. That's my thing. Elsa, like she needs one. Something that I think would actually be a cool buff that I don't know why they didn't do the first time. This Monster Piercer ability, I believe it should headshot. I don't know why it doesn't. I think it should. I'm not saying it should be like a crazy damage buff for the headshot, but the fact that a musket or whatever this is, elephant gun, this should be able to headshot. It'd be fun if it could headshot. Like one of the most fun things on this character when I first played her in the new season, and actually a reason I kind of stopped playing her, is because if you want to get a kill where you go up with E and then up again and then shoot someone with this, it's not impossible to get the kill. But man, it'd be fun, and it's just super hard right now since she has such little damage with it. But yeah, that's her buff, I guess. Emma's buff that I'm suggesting is actually with her ult. I want her ult to have overshield of like 50, just 50, not much, just 50. It's just a small buff. I know she's probably in need of some other buffs, but she's pretty good and she's played by the right person, and this would just be a quality of life buff. Now Gambit, yeah, I don't think he needs a buff at all. I know he got nerfed or whatever, but I guess if I could give him a buff, I'd turn this number from 21 to 24. Just give him one more card to throw out, or three more cards to throw out one more time. All right, next row. I want Groot's Spore Bomb. Where is it? It's right here. Right when you throw this ability, it has a 6-second cooldown. I believe this should only be 4. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't really do that much damage. I get it's pretty good with the walls, but I think it should only be 4 seconds. That's just my, whatever. Hawkeye. He's actually, I know he's not really played too much in high rank. I know he used to be. But here's what I want. I want the Ronin slash that you can block stuff with. I want it to have a overshield if you do it. Like if you block something, an overshield of 25 that's not stackable. So if you hit that, then if you hit a deflect, right, or whatever it's called, I want you to get an overshield of 25. Of course, it'll go down in like 2 seconds. But if this just happened, it would make people want to use it more, which I think it's one of the coolest parts to his kit. It's one of the hardest parts of his kit. So you got to time it, All right, next person, Hela. I know she doesn't really need a buff at all, but this is an all buffs video. So, the Dragon Ball Z reference like they were supposed to do. I know a lot of people talked about in Season 0. If you remember the Venom edits, comment. Season 7, and I haven't seen one in 9 months. Whatever. Hela. So I want her Piercing Knight, not the detonation, but the impact. Let me play it for you guys. I want the impact of this ability, not the explosion, but just the impact itself to have like a 10% damage boost. Not much, but it just make her a little bit better. All right, Human Torch. I want his buff to be this plasma body thing, this accelerated ascent. I want this to, you'll be able to do it for longer, maybe like 1 second longer, because I feel like he's kind of, I'm not saying it's easy to die because you can do the flaming meteor, but it's honestly maybe a little bit like a 1 second longer. It just give him a quality of life buff. All right, Invisible Woman, like she needs any buffs. I actually want to give her a cool buff, Agile Strike, this 3-hit combo. I've never really seen this used before that much, but I want this third attack, only the third attack, to do just more damage, just a little bit more, slightly more, barely any more, just slightly more, like 10% more. It's, Iron Fist. Now this is actually something that I think he does need a lot. This kick that he does, the recharge time is 12 seconds. That's kind of crazy. Because let's be honest, Crane Leap doesn't really get you out of, this is something to do damage and it's to get away. He's like BP in that way. He doesn't have that much options. I mean, yeah, he can block, but I'm just saying, if they made this from 12 seconds to 10 seconds, it'd be a big quality of life. Maybe even 8. But yeah. Alright, Iron Man. Obviously, buff this. Micro Missile Barrage. Make it like 10%, 20% higher the damage. He's supposed to be a glass cannon, so how about we make him that way? Higher damage. Jeff. So, I know a lot of people, when they're playing Jeff, they give people multiple healing bubbles because it's just like, why do they not stack? I don't want the healing to stack on the bubbles, but I want the speed. Like, it gives you a speed boost. I want that to stack. So if you give someone one bubble, I don't know how much it does. It gives them, I know it gives them a higher movement speed, but I want the movement speed itself to stack. So if you gave one person 3 bubbles, oh, they'd be fast. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd make him a little bit more meta. Next one is Loki. This is kind of weird, but his backstab has always been interesting to me. That's why it's even here. But increase the damage. Please increase the damage on backstab. Make it something that people would actually want to use. And by the way, this dealing extra damage when attacked from behind, I'm not talking about just a normal melee to someone in front of them, but if it's actually behind him, make it do some damage. Make it do some really good damage. I mean, 20% more when from behind. I mean, I'm just saying, people don't do it a lot. All right, next one, Luna Snow. I kind of had to think about this for a while, but for Luna, I want her to have a damage boost in ult. Like when she goes into the damage form of her ult, they always do healing. But if she does go into the damage form, a higher damage boost. Make people want to use this because I've seen so many people complain that healing ults are just like it's a circle where you get healed, and it's like a win condition. I know a lot of people don't want that. I know a lot of people want strategic ults like Adams. I've actually talked to my friend about this. He does not. He likes some of the healers ults, but he likes creative ults, and I agree. Some like Jeff's ult, it's a strategist ult, but it's creative. Like you don't really have that a lot. Like Luna, Mantis, Cloak and Dagger, and Invis, they're just kind of healing zones. So damage boost in ult. All right, Magic. I want her thingy. What the thing? The Demon's Rage. I want this ability to do the thing. There you go. This, I don't want the damage to be increased on this because I know, it's whatever. But I do want the damage to be increased on a Groot Wall or a Rocket Beacon. Just stuff like that. I want a damage boost to it. I feel like that'd be cool. Yeah. Alright. Next one is Magneto. I want his walk speed to go higher because I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've been to point and Magneto, the tank, is super far behind. Put his walk speed up. I'm not saying by that much, but I mean, think about him and this guy should go faster. Let's be honest. He's floating. Whatever. Mantis, her projectile speed on her basic fire, increase. Like it takes way too. Like right here, it's fine, but man, it's you can see it from far. It's very. I'm not saying it's super hard, but it kind of is hard to especially to land a headshot. I get it on Hawkeye, stuff like that. I honestly say hitting a Hawkeye headshot is easier than hitting a Mantis headshot if we're talking about like kind of far away. It's just me though, but yeah, Mr. Fantastic. This is kind of another weirder thing. I want the this flexible elongation. When you go to allies, it gives them a bonus shield. I don't think it should do that the way it does. I think it should have a little bit of higher shield, just 25 more. All right. Where am I? Okay, Moon Knight. And this one's a big one. Have you ever played Super Smash Bros? Well, I have, and um, I don't actually know what I'm talking about really. Oh yeah, it's Moon Knight, not Moon Knight. Um, Meta Knight in Super Smash Bros. I don't know. I think it has it in Super Smash Flash. I don't know if it has it in Super Smash Bros. But when you do his up B, you can go down faster. You can go down faster. You can do a little bit of look at my thing. You can do a little bit of that. Moon Knight, and I'm talking about Night Glider. It's just kind of that. It's kind of boring. I think it should be able to go down faster. That's just me. It kind of seems weird. Okay, but yeah. Namor. I know this might seem weird, but you see his his alt. I kind of thought about this. It already kills squishies if you're in the middle. So how about if a tank is in the middle of a Namor alt? I'm just talking about the middle. I'm not saying increase the damage for surrounding it, but just the middle of the alt, though, sweet spot. Increase the damage just a little bit. Make it so a tank isn't as protected because of his shield, because it's a tiny zone, let's be honest. All right. Penny, it's actually a quality of life buff that I want to give them. It's the Cyber Bond ability. I cannot tell you how much times, and I don't play Penny anymore. I used to a lot. Not a lot, but she used to be the main tank I played. But I don't really play tank or healer. I'm gonna be honest, except for Ultron lately. I've been playing Ultron. But Cyber Bond, I cannot tell you how much times I used to play her in like season 1 and 2, where I'd go to the top of the roof with Cyber Bond and it'd just glitch out. I'd rather her have a quality of life buff to when it does this. You might not see a problem with it, but I want to make it more consistent, because there's a thing with Cyber Bond where you shoot it to the roof and you go down and up, but it's not just a normal thing. It's really weird. Fix it, please. Yeah. All right. Next buff. I want Dark Ascent. Make this longer. Flight. It is barely long. Let's be honest. I don't think you should increase her damage though. She's kind of busted. She's pretty good. Psylocke. Where is he? Yeah, Psychic Stealth. Make this longer. Like, instead of 3.5 seconds or whatever it is, 4 seconds, make it 5 seconds or 4.5 seconds. Just 1 more second, I think. And then Rocket. This might be controversial, but I think that Rocket, when he heals, he should get a boost when he's just to himself, though. So, like, his healing to other people, that's fine. But just to him, like, it's fine the way it is. But just to himself, if he's healing himself and he's shooting the orbs at the ground, I think it should do a little bit more. Just like 10%. 10%. And then Rogue. Rogue, honestly, just make her jump higher. Like, jump boost. Not a ability, but just in general, I think she should be able to jump like 10% higher. That's Rogue's. Scarlet Witch, I want the flight speed of Mystic Projection to be a little bit faster. She's not slow in it, but I think she's kind of bad. So maybe make her a little bit better. Increase the flight speed. Spider-Man. This is actually the reason I made this video, primarily. Spider-Man is really player dependent. I have good games with him, bad games with him. I almost have 100 hours on the character. He needs a golden swing mechanic, and I know I just made that word up, but here's what I want to happen. When Spider-Man spawns in, I want him to have a basically, and when I just say spawns in, I mean he dies and he spawns in, or he spawns in at the start of a game, or even if he gets revived from a rocket beacon. Here's what I want to happen. I want there to be a free swing. Not a temporary free swing where it goes away, but just one free swing. Once you spend it, you go back to your regular 3 swings, and they have their cooldowns. But when you first spawn in, you die and you respawn, I want you to be able to have a free swing. Once you spend the free swing, you don't have it anymore unless you die and you come back. I want this to happen just because his swings are not just to get away, they're a part of his kit. They're a part of killing people. Let's be honest. Um, Another suggestion I could have is increase the speed of his running or increase the web swing speed, like make him faster at swinging. That would actually be a really cool buff, because I don't know if you ever played Spider-Man in Season 0, but because everybody was so new to the game, he felt super fast. He doesn't feel that fast anymore, but he really felt fast when he started. Squirrel Girl. I want to give her a buff that's not a makes the people that are good at the game better, and not just just. Here's what I want to do. I want to, if a Squirrel Girl is shooting acorns or whatever she shoots, her basic attack, when the targets that are close to her, just have it and I do mean close or medium range. And if they are far, if she is sniping, I want the exploding radius to be smaller, but I want the damage to be high if she impacts them directly, even more than if they were close to her. See what I'm saying? This would make it to where your skill is rewarded instead of just shooting acorns and hoping they explode 50 miles away. This way they explode super small, and it increases the damage if you hit somebody. Yeah, that's my thing. Star-Lord, it's another quality of life thing. I want his element guns to be at 50 bullets instead of 40. I don't know if you played Star-Lord, but this would just be a good quality of life buff, in my opinion. The Storm Hurricane, her alt, I want to have an overshield to her allies actually in the alt. I know this would basically be nothing, but let's be honest, if you pop the alt and there's some other alt, maybe this overshield could help some people that would have died that were your allies. I don't know. Just a quality of life thing. Punisher alt, I want there to have an overshield, another overshield alt of, let's say, 25 or 50. I think that'd be cool. Alright, next character, The Thing. I want his base damage to be increased, and I'm talking about Rocky Jab here. I just want the base damage. And this is, I know Stone Haymaker is actually kind of good in certain cases, but Rocky Jab is like nothing, I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's high enough. I think it should be a little bit higher. Okay? That's just me. And then this one is, I'm actually surprised when I played him that this didn't happen, that he wasn't designed this way. Why does Lightning Realm not do damage to the people inside it more? I get it does some or whatever, but it should really do more. And I'm not talking about crazy amounts, but it doesn't do much. I feel like Lightning Realm should be something where if you're with your healers and you pop it, it discourages dive because it gives the person who dives them damage. I know this wouldn't really apply to some people, but it would apply to most, which I think is Ultron. This dynamic flight cooldown, make it from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. And I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about the cooldown itself. The shift, maybe actually it should be buffed for how long it lasts. But this being on 8 seconds, it's way too long. I'm gonna be honest, if you use that, I get that that you should, maybe you should die if you're engaging too hard and you use it and you're on cooldown. Maybe, but it takes so long to get it back. Like, if you're trying to get back to point, dynamic flight, maybe this buff would be able to get you to point faster, and that I think would be cool. Venom. I want his F, Frenzied Arrival. I want it to do more damage. Not too much more, 10% more, just make him a little bit better. White Fox, I don't know why this isn't the case. Her Kumiho, whatever, her ult, the Nine-Tailed Fox, I don't know why, but it's kind of slow in my opinion. I think that the movement speed of it should be increased. not that you have to do it, but if you were to move in the alt, I just want it to be faster, just a little faster. That's all. And the second to last, Winter Soldier. This might be controversial, but I want after you alt for the
armed and dangerous.
Where is it?
Again.
For that 8 seconds, or for however long that alt charge time or whatever, just a normal movement beast of 10 beast, a normal movement speed buff of like 10%. That's all. And the last one of the video is Wolverine, his Savage Claw, Vicious Rampage. I want this itself, this ability, to just do a little bit more damage, just a little bit more. That's all. So yeah, that is a buff suggestion for every single hero. Some people need it more than others. My opinion is biased, but you know, in my opinion, that the person that needs a buff the most is Black Widow. I don't know why her running is whatever. And I guess if you asked me, hey, yeah, another buff on the top of your mind, I would make Adam Warlock's Soaring Surge. This ability, it doesn't last that long. People are like, make Adam have movement. Look at this. This is for barely long. Like, let's be honest, that's nothing. Make it 2 seconds longer. But yeah, put in the comments if you disagree, or put in the comments if you agree. I don't know. Have a good day, guys. Subscribe. We're out.